Hey guys, everyone, Creator Mom. I just watched a Jay Reed video and he always nails it. I mean, seriously. But what I got from his video was that he's talking about how, like, when you grow up with a parent who's narcissistic, you develop like this punching bag self and like the ideal self. And the ideal self is like what you think you always have to strive for. But like, the fact of the matter is that your ideal self is already who you are. But growing up with a narcissistic parent, as they always make you feel like not good enough, or they try to project that not good enough feeling onto you, you think that the ideal self is something you have to like strive for. He said that, which can lead to imposter syndrome because you don't take credit for the things that you actually do. Because it's like, it's never good enough, or it wasn't you. You just say, oh, it was due to somebody else, or due to this, or due to that. You never give yourself credit. You think that when people are nice to you, or when they compliment you, that they're just being nice, quote unquote. Right? So, I got this image in my mind the other day of like, when you're complimented, but you're used to receiving criticism after a compliment, because, in a narcissistic parent dynamic, a criticism probably will follow a compliment. So it's just like a compliment kind of means something to be nervous about. Oh, you did this well, but you could have done this better, like that. So it's like when you receive a compliment, you have like this, whoa, like, if somebody like goes to swing at you, you're like, duck, you're like, whoa. It's kind of like a compliment means like, oh, duck and run, because here comes a constructive criticism for you, Well, I guess you just can't handle criticism, right? You just can't handle constructive criticism. So yeah, he says the punching bag self is undeserving. It never feels good enough. And when you've grown up with a narcissistic parent, sharing accomplishments leads to being criticized, right? In the family, it's not, excuse me. He gave this one example of this kid who didn't, he had the feeling of not feeling good enough, and said, well, if I did this, then I'll feel good enough. If I just do this, then I'll feel good enough. So he did something, he accomplished something, but then he didn't tell his family. Because why? Because you have to hide the good things, because they will take it from you. They will not acknowledge like your quote unquote accomplishments, or if they do, it'll be met with criticism also. So yeah, your interests. So say you bring your interests to the narc parent. You'll be like, oh, this is what I like, look at what I like. They'll be like, well, why can't you like something better? Why can't you like something else? All right. And then accomplishments, whatever, not really truly like recognized. And compliments, like I said, are followed by criticisms, if anything. It can be really confusing, I think, because people will think like, oh, well, I guess I'm just like, again, this follows up my other video about being too soft. Oh, I guess I'm just too soft and I can't take constructive criticism. But, is that really what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not. So, yeah. But all in all, the takeaway is, in our healing from this programming and mentality, is that you can safely claim, this is what Jay Reed said, you can safely claim the good facts about yourself without negative repercussions. It is safe now. It is safe for you to claim the good facts about yourself. I like what he says, like accepting the fallible and valuable human you are, and that's all I have on that. So start to give yourself credit for the things that you have done. And like, sure, I mean, it's like nobody completely does anything like totally alone, but if like for me, for instance, I kept giving my I'll call NP, NARC parent, kept giving them credit for how I like got a scholarship to university and how I went to college. Like I was giving them the credit, like I wasn't taking credit for it. I was like, well, if it wasn't for her, no, like if it wasn't for you, Sheena, like if it wasn't for you, you wouldn't have done it. You're the one who did it. Like you're the one who did it. She didn't do it. You did it. You actually were the one to sit in the classes. You actually was the one to do the assignments. You did it all. So give yourself credit where credit is due and stop letting the narc parent steal from you. Call me Dr. Seuss. All right, bye everyone.